Hello and welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me. So today is that time of year. We're going to cut back the first flush of growth we had with our Delphinium for the year. Now, this is a technique. You don't have to do it. But what I do is, after that first flowering has happened, I wait, I collect the seeds, I cut off the top, leaving the rest of that first growth, one, to feed the crown, and two, to provide some much needed shade for the new growth coming through. But you don't have to do that after that first flowering. You can cut it right back down to the ground, about an inch above the ground. Just remember, after that first flowering, go ahead, feed your Delphinium some tomato food, either liquid or the little pellets. But the main goal here, now that the second flush is coming through, it's grown, we want to provide good air circulation. It's important with Delphiniums. Get that air circulating through the crown. That way, less rot, less disease, and overall healthier plant. Because look, these leaves are starting to die back. We don't really have use for them anymore. They don't provide shade. They're feeding the crown less, so we have to get rid of them. And I'll show you an up close here. But just take your snips or your garden shears, find the old crown, and cut it back. Now, what I do is, if you have supports down here, what I would do is I would just pull them through the bottom, and it gets through that much easier. I do the same thing with the flower spike itself when I cut that off. And all you're going to do is go ahead and cut about an inch above the ground, making way for the new flower stalks. And doing so will get your plant more circulation, leading to less disease and just overall better health. All right, everyone. So I pulled back some of these old leaves so you can see what I'm doing. But you can tell this is the old growth, just getting up there in age. I'm going to go ahead and cut back. So it's about an inch or two above the ground. And same thing with this one. Cut it back, pull it all out. I see another one almost dead in the middle here. It's all right if I get some of the new ones. Just go ahead, cut that back. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. And looking here, I have a lot of new growth, all feeding the plant, but it's going to take up too much energy. So what I'm going to do is cut back some of this new growth now that I'm in here, because it's not going to do us any good to have it. This is a fairly young plant, and that's why I'm doing it. If you watched any of my other videos, I mentioned 3 to 5 stems through the early years of the Delphinium. You start with 3 for a couple years, go to 5, and then you can just increase it from there. That way the Delphinium puts out a nice crown, and for a first year plant, look at how big this crown is. It's probably about 6 inches, a very good size. I'll cut this one back. I need ones that don't look too healthy. Just get out of there. And you can see there's actually more growth coming up. I'm just going to go ahead. You can get 2, 3 flushes of flowers in some areas. Now, feed after the second flush, but don't. See, I'm peeling all the leaves off. That's just get some airflow through here. Anything that doesn't look too hot. We had some rain, that's why it's looking a little raggedy, but not bad. I just want to clean up the plant I just stripped some leaves off there, just let some more air flow through. And we're left with 3 stalks. Well, that's it, everyone. We cleaned up our Delphinium, letting good air circulation in here. Got rid of the old stuff that's not doing anything. And if you haven't already, go ahead and feed your plant with some tomato food for that second flush. You should do it after the first flowering, but if you haven't, it's not going to hurt. Go ahead and put some nice liquid food in for the second flowering, or the pellets, whatever you prefer. Something like tomato food, Delphiniums love, 1010, bloodfish and bone, something that's not high in nitrogen. The only caveat being, if you get more than 2 flushes, don't feed your Delphinium after the second flush. You want the Delphinium to die back and rest for the winter, because you don't want to expel all that energy. You want your Delphinium to last for years. And if you just keep feeding it, it's going to keep producing. And guess what? Eventually it's going to tire itself and just not produce as well, perhaps die. So keep that in mind when you're taking care of your Delphinium throughout its life cycle and growing cycle. Thanks for watching, everyone. And until next time, bye-bye.